तो करना है ना?
हाँ. Didn't you log in?
I'm specking it already. I'm
Okay.
specking it.
Okay, guys. Sorry for the delayed stream. I had problems with my net and as well as some administrative issues, so I had to deal with that. I'm joined by Shai. So game is going on.
Game. Wait, what?
So game is going on. What do you think, Shai, so far? You know, for how long you've watched?
The game seems pretty equal in kills, but the blue team is really ahead in terms of objectives. We don't see a lot of towers for the red team right now. Because from what I've seen in the past few minutes, Gangplank has been having a really hard time defending towers. And during what I saw in the past couple of minutes, Tristana just walked towards bot lane and once 1v1'd him, and the other time he just ignored him and took down the bot lane tower.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though the kills seem pretty equal, the blue team do have a really big advantage in terms of objectives, since they have 6 towers to the 1 from the red team.
Yeah. So we can see a Kayn pick here. So what do you think about the Kayn, like how the Kayn is playing, you know?
Considering the fact that his team is so ahead, I would say he's playing decent enough. Even though he didn't have as much of an impact in the game as you would expect, we do have a team fight in the mid lane, in the bot lane I mean. Wukong gets a double.
Oh my god, there was such a fight. But blue team is going to win this fight very handily, and this might be game.
Yeah. Wukong and Rumble ult is just way too much for the red team. They really didn't have any way to deal with it.
So, by the way, to let everyone know, this is a new team for Eagle Vision. So basically, the old Eagle Vision team has disbanded. So that has been taken over by this team. They've accepted the loss in the first game. So they're gonna start with the 0-1 record, just like Wake and Bake. So, but Zack survives out of that one.
Yeah, he did. That was quite surprising. They do back off right now, the blue team. But yeah, this game is gonna be
ending pretty fast because the red team does not have any turrets.
Yeah, they're gonna
but that's
need
a good start onto Kayn.
But again, he manages to make it out. They're still a bit too afraid to, engage onto them without vision of the other champion, Because Rumble out and Wukong out, they're just wrecking the entire team fights for the blue team.
Yeah.
And did you see the farm onto the Tristana? That's 250 CS in around 29 minutes. That's very good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Rumble is alone, but he's gonna be joined soon enough by Tristana in that fight. Lands the ult onto both of them. Cho'Gath has to flash out, but Zack is left all alone to die. And yeah, another ult from Rumble and for the blue team. They could look for the Baron right now, but I don't think they even need it. They can just straight up walk mid and end the game, walk bot and end the game. Right now, if they want to.
I have just one issue though. I think that was a Wukong mid.
Yeah, I'm not sure who. Yeah. It was a Wukong mid, I guess. Wukong mid isn't, you know, as bad as you think.
But
Considering
he was up against
considering
a
he
GP.
considering he did play it decent enough, which I believe he did, looking at his score. And yeah, he was up against a GP, so Wukong is all alone in the top lane against three people. They're eventually gonna take him down, I think. Yeah, finally managed to shut him down. Tristana asked for the report.
So, what time are you at?
I'm at 29:59,
Can you
30
pause a bit?
exact right now. Yeah, okay, sure.
What
I'm
time?
at 33,
Okay.
33.
Okay, I'm there.
Alright. We see the blue team pushing towards the mid lane, tier 2 tower. We'll probably take it down pretty easily with that Baron buff. And yeah, the red team really need to take advantage of the Wukong not being here right now, otherwise they're just gonna give up everything they have. Zac goes in, lands a really good ult onto Tristana and two other champions, but
But they're all taking all Rumble's damage.
yeah, the Rumble ults have been so
But
good.
GP is alive!
GP finally comes in, tries to clean up the team fight, but yeah, Kane is still alive and manages to take down three of them, gets a triple kill.
I think that's GG.
And yeah, that should be game. I mean, the red team gave it a good shot. This was their chance. Wukong wasn't there, and Zac landed a really good ult, but still, they're so far behind that they didn't even have the damage to be, finish them off right there.
Yeah.
Even after such a good engage from Zac,
Yeah.
and that's the GG.
So that's game one. I'm sorry for the delayed stream. We had some technical issues. So we'll be streaming the entire second game and possible third game. So
Wait, give me a second.
Eagle Vision take game one. You know, they did play really well. They really did stand on top of Rumble's ult. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. They should have been more careful about that. That and the fact that they both do damage, Wukong and Rumble both. Should have been wary of that. Respected the ults, respected the amount of damage they could have done, and played around it. And yeah, for this game, we might see a Rumble ban, right?
What?
We might see a Rumble ban for this game, game 2, I mean.
Possibly. Or maybe
Considering
just, they just don't stand on it.
it's really hard to not stand on it if Rumble places it under your feet.
Yeah, but you can walk out of it.
Yeah, but considering how fed he was by the time you do manage to walk out of it, or you have to blow your flash, you still take quite some damage. Definitely not fighting on top of it helps, but it's still something you're gonna have trouble dealing with. And the GP mid was a bit questionable as well, I guess.
Not just questionable, very questionable.
They might have to rethink that strategy. Maybe they had a team comp planned out with the Leonal, the Gangplank all with the Zag going in and Twitch dealing damage from the back line, but they have to, execute it pretty well.
So,
Both of the teams are here. Yeah. Wake and Bake are ready. I guess we'll be starting as soon as the division gives us the go. It's there? Right there,
yeah.
right? Yeah. And we go into champ select. The first bound from Wake and Bake is a Z. Wait. I think the red team needs to miss the ban, right? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they did. I guess he's disconnected. We're gonna have to wait till he reconnects. Yes.
Someone's DC?
Yeah, their first pick, Abedin. They said he's DC'd. His PC shut down apparently. He's gonna reconnect in a bit.
Okay, guys, we're back. Yay. Sorry, the game took so long to start.
But finally everyone is here and we're on to the picks and bans. The first ban from the blue team was Zed. We saw that last time around, but oh wait, this time they changed it to Fizz. Okay. And the red team. Hmm. I wonder if they decide to change any picks and bans from what they did last time around.
I think they should. I think blue team should change
Okay.
the GP first of all.
They do ban out the Twitch which the blue team did play last time. And the Z ban as we saw. And yeah, except Twitch, maybe a Cho'Gath ban or maybe just usual meta bans.
Yeah.
Like something like Maokai or
They still ban the GP. I don't know why.
Okay, they banned it. Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, I think Fizzy is going mid, so I'm interested to see how Noctis versus Fizzy goes.
And yeah, the Rumble ban, that was pretty
Much
necessary.
needed.
I would have
Much
to say.
needed. I think they basically banned Fizz due to Fizzy. Well, his name.
Okay.
First of all his name. Second of all, I think that's one champion. He's playing after a long time, so that's one champion that hasn't been changed.
Yeah, except for his ult, which they did change quite far back.
But
We do
it's
see
easier
the
to land it.
Yeah, it is. We
So
do see the Zac pick again, which did work out quite well. Even though they lost the game, Zac had some pretty good engages and some pretty good ults as well.
yeah.
And the Alistar. Alistar does work well against a Zac, but I don't know how he's gonna do in lane. We'll have to see the bot lane, both of the bot lanes from the two sides,
Okay.
and the Varus to go along with it. That does set up ganks quite well in the bot lane with the Varus ult and the Alistar knockup.
Yeah. I'm more interested to see what the bot lane of the blue team picks this time because Tristana, well, I don't know. Let's see. That's a Braum though.
Yeah.
Okay,
Last
one
time
question.
around,
I have never tried it.
yeah.
Does Varus's ult go through Braum's shield? Like
It hits him.
I know it roots Braum.
Yeah.
It roots him, but does it
Yeah,
go after him?
I believe it does. I believe it does to try to chain to other targets. Yes.
Okay, good to know. I wasn't sure of that. I know it roots him. Just don't know about the
Yeah.
others.
And the Shen pick.
Man, that's
Okay.
so much tankiness again.
Yeah, Zac, Braum, and Shen.
And again, a lot of CC.
I wouldn't be surprised if the red team opted for something like a Trundle if they're comfortable with it.
Yeah, they could, but then Shen does really well against Trundle. Rather than other tanks because, well, it's a Riven.
Okay, it's a Riven.
No, but Shen does very well against Trundle because Shen's W helps him a lot in that.
Yeah, it does, but at the end of the day, Trundle's just gonna keep pushing, right?
Yeah. But
But
this time it's Riven. I think it
yeah,
goes
it is
same
Riven.
ways. Shen does really well against auto attack based champions.
Yeah, he does. But now we'll see most of the bans aim towards the bot lane, right? From both of the teams.
Okay.
The mid lane now, Malzahar, I guess something like Syndra. Or are they considering a Wukong ban this time around?
No, they banned the Talia for some reason. I don't know why. Fizzy doesn't play Talia.
Maybe it's just a champion they're not comfortable playing against. Because Talia is a problematic
And then they
champion. She
banned
roams a
Syndra,
lot.
Malzahar. Like, don't know what's going on here.
Malzahar and Syndra, I would say, are understandable bans because Yeah, they're both strong champions, which do well in lane as well
But
as
I
in
think,
team fight.
people just forget that you can counter a Malzahar pretty easily. Just need a
You can,
QSS.
We do
but
what we must.
but here's the thing: you can't build QSS on all of your members, right?
Yeah, but you can't build them on your carries.
On your AD carry, most AT mid laners prefer not to build a QSS because it's
Banshee, they
basically
prefer
useless on
Banshee.
them. Yeah, they prefer Banshee, which can be broken pretty easily. The pick from the red team looks like it's gonna be a Hecarim. Okay, okay, that's interesting. The previous Hecarims we saw in this tournament didn't really do that well, did they?
No.
It's a pick that we've seen quite a few times, but none of them have really put it to much good use, I have to say. We'll have to see what he does with it this time around.
And that's a Vladimir pick. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy. You can't kill a Vladimir early game.
That is just so much tankiness.
Oh
They didn't pick
damn.
it.
Just
Okay, he
no, no, no,
changes it to a Victor.
no. Just when, like, Victor is a very good pick in the blue team, and I love Victor.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I love Victor. But anyways, Victor's a very good pick in this comp because they have three peelers. Three very
Yeah, they do.
legitimate peelers. And if you give Victor enough peel, he basically can kill someone. And if people don't know about this, if Victor has completed Hex Course and a Lich Bane, he basically can one-shot a carry. A carry is just standing there ready to be dead in one shot.
Yeah, pretty much. Q auto attack and then
Q
laser
auto
him.
attack, E, Thunderlord's proc, dead.
Yeah. And the last pick from the red team was that, which isn't that bad against Victor, can deal with his wave pushing and harass from range quite well, because his range is very good. But we'll have to see how he does in the team fight, because they do have the resources to get onto a Ziggs
Yeah.
with the Zac and the Shen out. But the advantage he has is that he can get through those thick tanks. His ult basically just, yeah, ult whoever you see. Vayne or Victor, whoever you see low, ult them and you can get the kill if you
Yeah.
land it.
Yeah, but this is an interesting. I'll just break down the mid matchup. This is very interesting in my opinion. Uh, Victor versus Ziggs is something Ziggs can, capitalize on because he does have more range in terms of poke. But here's the thing. Once Victor gets his first Hex Core and he upgrades his laser, he basically clears that wave. And then Ziggs has to ponder about what to do. Because at that point in time, Victor will have a room, like he picked Ghost. So basically he will be looking to roam. This is a roaming summoner for Victor. So he'll be basically clearing the wave and looking for roams. That's when, I want to see what Ziggs does, because Victor can be very present in lane in ganks if he can
Yeah,
time
he
it well.
can.
He can time it well because he does have the CC, he does have the burst damage. There's a lot of things Victor can do with a gank. So him taking the ghost means he's willing to roam, and at the same time, like, the lane matchup will be very interesting. It will be slightly in favor of Ziggs because Ziggs has more range. That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
he does.
He has more range. He'll be able to poke the Victor. Victor will have to rely on either Ziggs mispositioning to trade with him, or to just use the laser to poke him, which is not very efficient because Victor doesn't have a lot of mana in the early game.
Yeah, and that's another thing you have to admit is that at the end of the day, it might just come down to mana man who can land more skill shots and keep his mana while dealing damage to the enemy champion, right? If you just use your mana to clear the waves, then at the end of the day, you're left with nothing, right? You're just farming up, but you can't do any damage or roam if you're out of mana.
Yeah.
So Victor will have to keep that in mind, as well as Ziggs. If
The-
he runs out of mana trying to poke out the
I
Victor,
think
then
Ziggs has less mana cost compared to others, But the thing is, here's the deal. Ziggs can actually sustain well with mana because Ziggs nowadays Ziggs normally builds the Morello first.
Yeah.
At least the Lost Chapter. At least the Lost
Yeah,
Chapter.
the Lost Chapter
But Victor
does
doesn't
help
build
in
a
that
Lost
regard
Chapter.
a lot.
Victor doesn't build a Lost Chapter. Victor doesn't go a Morello at all. You do not
No, he
delay
doesn't.
that because your first priority is always get the hex core first.
Yeah,
And
looking
then,
for those upgrades is definitely more important.
and then get the Lich Bane, because if you get the Lich Bane, you hit your power spike, which is basically a ton of damage. So,
Yeah.
so basically you get those two items first, and obviously the boots. The boots is not even a question. So as I said, Ziggs will have a slight better matchup. But it's not exactly like Ziggs is going to win the lane. It's more of a skill matchup than people expect. Because if Victor can sidestep everything, Victor has more kill potential. Because once you can't use the Q, once your Q is down, Victor can easily get up to you and use his combo if he knows how to do it. It's basically a lot of skill matchup involved. Like how far the Ziggs stays and how Victor will, maintain his positioning. That's basically, what's going to happen.
But I think the all-in potential might be a bit less for the safer summoner and barrier.
Yeah, but Victor isn't going to look for a kill in the lane. He's going to actually look for, a lane push.
Roams. Yeah,
Roams,
he's gonna push.
Lane push, wave. His first objective is just getting his laser first. He needs the laser upgrade, and then he has so much lane roaming potential. So basically, this is going to be inside thing. Someone is actually, messaging me. He's actually watching the stream, not in the live chat, but he's actually messaging me. He told me that Ziggs is going to win the lane. I told him depends on the Victor. Then he told me this Victor is not you. Like,
Okay.
but still, no. He's saying because he saw me play Victor. So yeah. But at least I know what to do against a Ziggs. That's what I'm trying to. That's what he's trying to outline. That is. What I'm saying is that it's possible to win with Victor against Ziggs. That's what I'm trying to point out, because it's all about the skill. It's skill matchup at this point. That's my take. Anyways, what do you think about the other lanes? Like especially the top lane.
The top lane, it's basically gonna be whether Riven gets ahead of Shen or not. If the Riven gets even a bit ahead, she can basically kill the Shen under his tower over and over again. But if Shen manages to hold on in the end, he is gonna have more impact in team fights with his ults, right? Because he is gonna be there faster. He is gonna have that shield that's gonna save his carries. But at the end of the day, he's not gonna win the lane 1v1. And that's where Hecarim should look to gank, I think. Gank the lane. I've said this before, right? Gank the lane where the Shen is so that he can't ult to other lanes. Put him behind so that he can't help the other lanes ult to other places. And yeah, that's the thing. If you look to gank bot and Shen ults and turns it around, that's really bad for you.
Yeah.
You don't want that happening.
Yeah, but here's the thing. With the blue team comp, they have this room that if Victor can get his wave pushed, if Zac is there and then the Shen ult is there, that's potentially a 5-man bot.
Yep, and the red team should be really wary of that.
Yeah, and because Ziggs took a defensive summoner, he's playing for the lane. So essentially, if he doesn't dominate the lane, or if he doesn't, keep that wave push, stop Victor from roaming, or get Victor behind. If either of those doesn't happen, Victor will try to roam. Victor will try his best to roam. It's that's basically it. Because please go.
Last time around, we did see the bot lane from what's the red team's name?
Eagle Vision.
Eagle Vision, right? We did see Eagle Vision's bot lane dominate pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
From the pretty much the early game, Sivir was quite ahead,
Yeah.
and which was having a really tough time dealing with the waves, and they kept diving them over and over again. But this time around, I think the lane is more evenly matched. Even though Vayne isn't such a strong laner, but with Braum, she's pretty safe behind him.
Yeah. And also to note that Hecarim isn't a very good early game jungler.
Yeah, he is
Hecarim
not.
doesn't have a very good, unless he comes from behind. There's
Yeah, he
not.
comes from behind with his ghost and just, pushes someone into his own team.
Yeah, but then
That's
there's
how
a
he
Braum.
ganks.
Then there's a Braum, and then
Exactly. That's what I meant when I said that Vayne is gonna be safe behind him. As long as he stays behind Braum and plays safe enough, he
yeah.
should be fine. Should have
And
a
and
pretty good
if
laning
Shen
pool.
has level 6, that's a potential Shen. And then Shen
Yeah,
also has
even
TP. Zack might be there. Victor
even
might
more
approach
safety
with
for
a
the
roam. That's
carries.
this like this entire team this blue team depends on how well they rotate. This is entirely a rotation based team, and if they play alongside with that, the red team have to respect that, because that is a lot of roam coming from them. And
Yeah, but
yeah,
here's the weak thing about roaming teams is that they don't, right?
yeah, but
So, and if the enemy team starts snowballing, then it's going to be tough for them to hold on,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because if they fall behind, like if Victor falls behind, Ziggs is going to keep pushing him. He
yeah,
can't roam. He can't leave his turret.
yeah,
Because Ziggs takes down turrets so fast, right?
yeah,
If Shen falls behind, he's going to be too weak to even ult to other lanes, probably.
yeah,
And that's going to put him even further behind, even if he does manage to get the ult
yeah.
off. And in the bot lane, it's a Vayne. You need to, stay safe in the early game and stay alive for the late game, which you're strong.
Yeah, that's the thing. Another thing I want to touch on. If this game goes late, this is in favor of blue team, because Vayne will have so
Yeah,
much
Vayne.
damage, and then Victor will already have his items.
But even if they do, it all depends on whether Ziggs
Yeah,
or even get enough damage by that time to basically kill the Vayne, right?
yeah.
Because as I said, they always do have the Ziggs ult that is gonna land onto him.
So
And if the if,
so Riven
if the
does
Rift
his level 2 first. He does a
first,
bit of
yeah,
damage, but
Shen is gonna lose that trade. He needs
yeah,
to back
but
off from the
now
minion
once
wave.
Shen has W, it'll be much easier for him.
Yeah, it will. It definitely will. But here's the thing: if you're losing Trace from level 1, it doesn't help your lane, right?
Yeah.
He got the wave pushed in. He lost quite a bit of CS, as you see the CS difference right there.
That's a knock-up base. Hecarim is coming. They'll just
Yeah,
back
but
off.
I don't think he can do much
They'll just
right
back off.
here. And yeah, there we see them backing off.
Riven is pretty low HP for someone who's trying to,
Freeze the wave there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, he can do it. Because it's a Shen. He knows he's in no imminent threat of getting all in. And here's the thing. At the place that the wave was placed right there, Shen had to fight a lot of minions if he wanted to go in, right?
Yeah.
And he wanted to avoid that. So even if you go in and the Riven is low, you still lose that trade just because of
Yeah.
the minion wave. Riven does walk in, places a deep ward into the blue pit of the red team, and walks out. That W was quite late from Shen. He could have.
That is a pause.
Oh, okay.
And that's an unpause for some reason. I don't know why they're pausing.
Oh, okay. And Vayne
That's
might
a
be.
bot lane, but that is
Oh.
that was a heal, I
Yeah.
guess. No flash was
Yeah.
flash was burned.
No.
The flash was burned by
Vayne?
by Vayne.
Oh, I guess it was burned earlier, I think.
And also Alistair's was also burned.
Yeah, Alistair burned the flash this time around. But that pause was a bit weird. I
Yeah.
don't know what that was about.
There is going to be a gank.
Ziggs face check.
That's going to be a lot of damage onto Ziggs.
Yeah, he uses his W to make it out. Doesn't end up going any summoners, which is good for him.
Yeah.
And you do see Riven having quite a bit of advantage in the top lane.
That's to be expected, it's a Shen.
Yeah, it is a Shen, but if he keeps losing those trades, as I said, if you let any one of the carries, because they do have 3 carries on the red team, right?
Yeah.
If you do let any of them snowball, you're creating a big problem for the late game that you set yourself up for. Shen does back off. He's not level 6 yet, so
Okay, that's a very good.
okay.
That was
Trade.
that was a nice timing for Victor, because he saw that the queue was down. That's when you go in with Victor. That's when you exactly go in when your opponent uses his spells, and if he's long range based, you then go in even more, because that's when you can take that trade.
Yeah,
And
exactly. His spells are down, and easily.
Victor's just missing a bit of farm. He needs to go back with about 1550 gold
For the first upgrade.
for the first upgrade and the boot.
Oh,
You can go for just the first upgrade, but the boot helps you get into the lane faster.
and helps him land his
Yeah,
Qs as well,
provided that
right?
you're not very low, that is.
Okay, there are things onto the bot lane, but Hecarim decides against the gank.
Yeah, Victor just does go back, doesn't take the boot, doesn't have enough gold for it, and gets the first tech score. I think he upgraded the laser.
Yeah, that's
I
usually
I
the
have to
first
check that.
upgrade.
Yeah, he did upgrade the laser. But thankfully for him, Ziggs didn't make it fast enough, and the lane wasn't very much pushed.
Hecarim again in the bot lane, looking for ganks, but there's not really much that's gonna be.
Yeah,
And
because
even if he does manage to make it in there, he still has the Shen out, right?
yeah, because
So
because to be fair, if you look at the mid lane, Victor's not going to push this early. Ziggs is still
yeah,
going to push, so there is no chance of ganking the mid lane. In the top lane, it's a Shen. He's never going
yeah.
to push.
Riven is continuously gonna push him in.
And the only lane you can gank is actually the bot lane.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Okay, that's a good W by Shen.
Shen, yeah.
He basically dissuades Riven, and there's another pause.
Okay, both of the teams are experiencing a lot of packet loss apparently, which is why they paused.
So I don't see any comments though in the live stream. I don't know why.
I believe there are very few people watching this game this late at night.
No, there are 19 people watching,
Okay.
excluding me, because I'm watching from
Okay.
I'm watching from somewhere else. I'm not a viewer. I'm the host.
So yeah, up till now we do see the red team being around 1k gold ahead simply from the laning phase, just because they have better lane
Yeah.
who have farmed up well enough. And yeah,
But there's one thing interesting though. Look at Vayne. Vayne had to go back early, so he bought a cull.
yeah, he did. And he wants to go to the late game, right? That's if you're playing for the late game.
Yeah.
You look for the goal, you go for the cull, and yeah, basically helps yourself build better items.
So it's interesting to see that Shen actually bought a Bami Cinder, so basically he's going to go for the Sunfire Cape, whereas Riven has the Coffil Warhammer. No, don't know which item he's going to go for because there are so many items. with Coffil Warhammer?
Possibly either a Ghost Blade stamp, I believe.
I don't know about the Ghost Blade, but yeah, let's go on with that. Hecarim is
Or the
obviously going to
Stamp.
go for the Triforce. Zack is
Yeah,
going to go for the, well, the only
Cinderhawk.
item he goes for, the Cinderhawk. Victor is going to go for the full X-Core. Ziggs is going to go for the Morellonomicon. Vayne, I don't know which Vayne build he's going to follow. Varus is definitely going to go for the Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah.
And
And both of the supports are gonna get set stones, I presume.
yeah.
Hopefully next. So yeah, the red team bot and top lane are pretty ahead right now.
Yeah.
In the top lane, it's because Riven is Riven, right? He pushes the lane into the
What
Chen, who has
what
to
what
farm under
I'm
his
interested in,
turret.
I think blue team has a better team comp for team fighting. So basically, they'll want to pick those fights if they get those, because they will have enough damage from Victor. They'll have enough damage from Vayne. They have Zack and Brom CC, and then they have a Shen. So this is a team built for team fighting. For
Yeah,
the
it
other
is,
team,
but
for the other team, that team is entirely based on snowballing. If they can't snowball, that's an issue for them.
yeah, exactly. And this is why I was talking about that, because here's the thing. The damage from the red team basically is gonna be coming from Ziggs, Riven, and Varus, right?
Yeah,
And two of those three champions are pretty ahead of their lane counterparts at this moment.
yeah,
And the main carry in the late game for the blue team, Vayne, is pretty far behind, right?
yeah,
Which is a significant thing.
yeah. But
Because
the
at the
thing,
end of the day, if your late game carry isn't strong enough to fight and get you through the mid game, then it's gonna be really hard for you if you end up losing too much.
yeah, that's where this comp also comes in, because they can actually, all of them can actually converge bot lane. This is where that comes into play. Now I'm willing to see if they can pull it off right, because if they can get easy kills.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where that's where Zack, Shen, and Victor with Ghost comes in. So whereas Ziggs can provide some support with the ult, but his level 1 ult doesn't do much damage, or level 2 for the matter, without any sort of item.
Yeah, and even though it doesn't, as you said, but ahead enough, he can basically jump onto the Vayne, right?
Yeah,
And a Raven damage plus a Zigzag is gonna equal to a dead Vayne
yeah.
probably if they don't keep
Yeah,
them
but
away.
if they do have the peel that I expect
Yeah,
them to, I
exactly.
don't I don't think Riven can be able to, unless he flanks from behind, because a Zack can stop you, a Shen can stop you, a Brom can stop you,
Yeah,
even a Victor can stop you.
but I have to say it's gonna be probably the Brom peeling mostly because Zack and Shen are probably gonna look in for those engages, right? With the Zack going in with his E and Shen ulting onto him so that they don't kill him
Yeah,
while he's in the midst of all of the damage, right?
yeah, and TD anti carry has proven that he can play a good Zack. He played it last game. He
Yeah,
did he did pull off those engages. So
he did.
but there was not just enough damage there. This time they do take very high damage carries, like if they do have the items. So I'm just waiting to see how this pans out, because if Wake and Bake win here, they basically we basically go for game 3.
Yeah, we do.
So I would love game 3. There have been very less game 3 matches. I believe, I want more.
I think there's been what, like two or three till now, right?
There's been 3.
3. Okay.
2 in the beta ladder and 1 in the alpha ladder.
Okay. We're still waiting on the red team.
Because I expect, you know, the beta games to, some of the beta games in this round or the coming rounds to have best of 3, to have 3 games in a series, because as I said before about the Swiss system,
Yeah.
it basically matches you winners with winners versus losers. So you actually play teams with the same record or similar to your record. So you have more even games. So that's why I expect
Mm,
more of a fight.
competitive. Yeah, exactly. Okay, they're saying that their jungler has a login issue.
Oh crap! Not that again.
Does anyone else have this problem?
Sometimes it does occur.
Okay. Then we're gonna have to wait even longer, I guess. Let's hope this
It
issue
comes
is
back.
resolved soon enough. Yep.
So nothing much to talk about the game.
Not till now.
Yeah.
I have to say that Hecarim has tried to go for a few ganks in the bot lane, but Zac hasn't really tried anything yet
I think
with
Zach
Zac.
is looking for level 5 or level 6, because when Zach is level 5, he's probably looking for level 6, because when Zach is level 5 though, Zach normally maxes the slingshot, so his
Yeah.
range increases even more.
But even with that, if you saw Hecarim between the two, would expect the Zac to have more impact in the early game, right? Because Hecarim is usually farming up to his Triforce.
Yeah.
He can look for ganks if they are available, but they weren't, to be honest. Not in the bot lane, at least. The ones he went for, they weren't, ganks you would usually go for. Instead, I would have expected him to be a bit more farm focused and
Yeah.
look for those items instead. But Zac does have quite a few openings, right? Because the bot lane is pushing, the top lane is pushing constantly.
He did
He
try
could
to
look
gank
for
the mid
ganks in
lane
the mid.
once, and it was a good gank. Ziggs had to
Yeah,
back off.
they did. They did, man, but they didn't get any summoners out of it. And yeah, unless Ziggs is like really far extended, it's really tough to gank him.
Yeah.
Because his range is so outrageous, he can just, poke you from so far away.
But after Victor gets his items, then it will become easier for them to kill Ziggs, even with summoners on, because Victor does a lot of damage when he has his turn, and Zack's engage will only get better.
Yeah, exactly. After he gets his ult, definitely.
Yeah.
If he can kidnap him out from those W's, satchel charges, I mean, then definitely.
The game is still paused. I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of sad.
I I guess they're still trying to contact their jungler.
Wait,
See if
wait. Um, one sec. BRB.
Oh, they're starting 4v5 and on pause.
Yeah, so they're starting 4v5. Sorry guys, we took a bit of a break because there's another pause.
And this time from the blue team.
We'll wait.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They're
good
just,
sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship.
yeah,
Good
they're just
sportsmanship.
letting him reconnect.
Fair play award. Anyways, we'll be back again.
By the way.
Okay, so the game started. We are back again with a Zack gank and a flash.
That's a good condemn, but
Come on, Vayne, you can take this kill.
I don't think he can.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
the
is
Ziggs
an ulti from Ziggs, a failed ulti, and
Yeah,
everyone is there. I think Riven flash.
Where's the channel? That's
There's
what
the
I mean.
channel!
Onto the vein, but Brom is the one who goes down for first blood. Riven gets the kill. Zack's passive goes down. Shen is trying to take down the Alistar.
Where's Victor? Why is Victor so late?
Yeah, he was way too late to the fight. There's nothing he can do way too here.
Actually, he can. Wait, clear.
Well, yeah, but I mean in terms of the fight itself, that's basically over. And Hecarim wasn't even there, right? This was a fight the blue team initiated, but they were too late to
Well,
react.
that was a
like
4v4 fight, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. They had the tools to deal with an uneven fight, but instead they end up initiating themselves and coming out behind. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not very good.
And you have to say that was a very good reaction from Riven to teleport right there.
Yeah.
He got there faster than the Shen did, even though his ult.
It didn't get them a lot behind, but they need to watch out for future, fights. They need to create their own mismatch. Because now Riven doesn't have TP, but Shen does.
Yeah, Shen does. And Shen's ult is gonna come up much faster than a teleport.
Yeah. But Zack should be ganking mid in my opinion. He should. Good wave clear. He's trying to clear the wave so that, Ziggs can't push him out. But there looks to be a Hecarim gank, but there is a ward there. Shen knows.
Yeah, he knows, and he's just gonna back off to a safe distance.
Shen is just pretending that, he doesn't know.
And just wasting Hecarim's time, right?
Yeah. Now Hecarim realizes, okay, wait, I think he knows. And then he realizes, yeah, he knows. That's why he was so far up. But Hecarim is going back again.
And this time Zack is there as well.
But they're just giving too much time for Zack to get there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, even the 2v2 they can't really. Instead, they both. Victor is in so much danger right now if they do decide to go in for that dive. But yeah, they don't. They just place a ping forward, deep into their jungle and walk out.
Yeah. So far they can see, they can't dive the Victor yet. Like, Victor is very far entrenched.
Yeah, he is. And he has pretty good wave here, so even if it is dives, one of them is in danger of going up. Zack does come in, tries to go in for the gang. Misses his Q, that's a good stun from Riven and manages to make it out safely enough.
There should be a W right there. Where is the W? The W came in a bit late. But that is not a fight he should take.
Yeah, that taunt wasn't necessary really. He's gonna die right now.
Yeah.
After he had lost that trade, I'm not sure why he decided to go in with his own taunt. That wasn't a good call from Shen. Because I know he's a Shen, he is pretty tanky, but Riven got 2 kills in that bot lane fight, right?
Yeah. Zack goes there to try and, you know, not stop that tower from being pushed.
Which he should. But going in onto the Riven by himself is not such a good idea. Again, tries to ultimate to the tower, doesn't do so. Riven goes in for the dive, but oh, that's a flash from Zack. Okay, that was pretty odd. I'm not sure why that flash came out.
He thought he was going to dive in. He thought Riven was going to dive
in. Riven, I believe him. I believe he lagged out and started altering the turret. But Zack got scared and flashed in the opposite direction by mistake, I believe.
Panic flashes all over.
No. And the red team are pinging out the dragon. I believe Karim is gonna move there. He knows his bot lane can back him up as soon as he needs them to. But Alistar engages onto the Vayne. That's a good ult from Varus, and Vayne is just dead before Braum can do anything. He had his heal, he had his flash, but doesn't even get the time to use any of it. That was a good engage from Alistar. And yeah, as I was saying,
that might be a good trade for Victor. That's a very good trade.
But the Alistar is there to save. Oh, the flash! But yeah, Zigzag is bad.
Double summoners. But that's a good. But that was a good spell used by Noctis. You know, a good laser to get the kill, but he dies himself.
In the end, he managed to trade 1-for-1, which in the situation, considering Alistar was there as well, isn't so bad. They do try to land the gank onto.
I think that's not a very good idea for Alistar to get there, but that might be a kill.
Onto from okay, and
okay, that should be. Teleport. But Riven is coming there. That might be.
Vayne is in so much trouble. Fails the flash. Heals, tries to live. He needs to dodge the. Oh boy, yeah. Varus lands his Q, and that's the dead Vayne. Might be a dead Zack as well. Has his passive, but don't think there's any way they can save him right there.
It's a teleport, but I don't think he'll use the teleport for that. So.
Yeah, possibly waste of a teleport, because there's no way they could have saved him. And
there
again,
seems to be some sort of lack of communication, I think.
Yeah, that's what I think is the problem for the blue team. I mean, Vayne went in while both Braum and Zack were backing off, right?
Yeah.
He should have backed off along with them. Instead, he got split away from them.
Okay, that's very well done. That's very well done by Shen. Trying to dissuade the turret, but he does get knocked back.
And that's the first tower to the red team as well. That's a 6k goal lead in 16 minutes.
Yeah. They have to have a really good team fight in order to come back in the game, and which is possible still. Which is still very much possible.
It is, but as I was saying, like the two lanes you were scared would snowball, like that has happened again. They should have, you know, played accordingly. They should have realized that yes, Shen is losing the lane, he should play safe, but he didn't. And in the bot lane as well, Vayne should have played safer since he
Yeah,
was behind
yeah.
the
Like
Varus.
people said that there's going to be a like Ziggs is going to win the lane against a Victor, but Victor's actually playing really well.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
playing pretty well.
That is basically the only place in the map that's he.
Like right now, what they need to focus is that that's a very bad position for Ziggs. Ziggs went up so far, and I think he might be ganked. But there is a bot lane fight. They are trying to go back. They do go back, and you know a lot of spells used. A lot of like a few ultimates were used. Like
But doesn't result in anything, to be honest.
yeah.
No kills at the end. And Hecarim is roaming with Riven.
They are trying
them-
they're trying to get some mismatch in the mid lane because they want that mid lane turret, but Victor's doing a very good job at pushing the wave.
I think Ziggs Satchel is gonna take the tower. We just have.
But he can't push. If
Yeah, exactly.
you need to get close because look at Ziggs' HP right now. Victor's playing really aggressive because he knows that now if he lands his Q, because he does have the upgraded hex core, all three of them. This is basically an advantageous situation for him because if Ziggs has one positioning mistake, Victor can punish that.
Yeah, he definitely can.
And if you look at that, like he is pushing the wave so that Ziggs cannot get close to the turret in order to take the turret with the satchel.
And meanwhile, they did take down the Rift Herald. Riven has the buff right now, which he might use soon enough to take down the top lane turret.
Yeah, but
Maybe
he
in a
needs
few
the
more
laner
weeks.
to die or something because Shen isn't going to leave the turret pretty easily, but we can see that Zac wants to gank, I guess. No, but he does, clear the ward. That might still be a gank, but no, Zac works out.
Yep. Not really much he can do there with the mobility that Riven has. I don't think they have enough damage to actually kill her. Because between a Shen and a Zac, that's not really much damage.
They were pinging out the mid lane. The bot lane of the red team is actually moving towards the mid lane, so Victor should just know by now.
Yep.
Victor
That's
should
gonna
just
be
push the wave.
turret,
Just
I
push
think.
the wave.
Oh boy, Alistair engages onto him, the Ziggs, so does the Shen ult, but Zac is in the middle of two of them. So
I don't
that's a
know
good
why.
blast on from Shen, but not really much damage coming out. The Varus just deals free damage.
I don't know
onto everyone.
why Victor went there in such close range when he didn't have his Q. This was really bad for them, and Alistair takes the kill. Again, there is a problem with communication. You can take a look at this. Like,
they're not on the same page, definitely. Because Zac was split while his team was backing off. He went in, and then after he died, they tried to go in with the Braum ult and everything else. But by then it was too late, way too late for the team fight. And Varus was not focused at all.
yeah.
He dealt free damage throughout almost the entirety of the fight. And to be honest, they don't have the threats for that. Like, Vayne wasn't there, and yeah, Victor tried to go into his range, but he can't do that.
He didn't go into his range. He just went up, way beyond his range. Like, he went almost melee range.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, within the range of the Varus, not his own range.
He needs
And,
to
yeah,
wait for his spells to come back and then use the rotation again.
You can't
He's
do
a
that.
rotation-based champion.
What they need to do right now is lose as little as they can, try to scale up, let the Vayne farm up, get her items, and till then just wave clear using the Victor. You do have that option. I
Yeah.
know Ziggs is gonna push, but still, you have the wave clear option with the Victor, right? Use that. Just use that to get to the late game.
Yeah, farm up. Vayne and Victor need to farm up. They can't risk fighting anymore. They have given too big a lead to the blue team, and now they need to farm and try to take back something.
I mean, that's a 12k goal lead. That's huge within 20 minutes.
I ex- Victor
Oh, that's a
expected a
combo
gank.
onto the Zac,
He might be
and
dead.
he does all the Alistar and has his passive. I think Shen should TP this time around. He does have it, but decides not to. Zac goes down. Somebody needs to come to this mid lane. He can't defend this all alone against a Baron buff team. But instead they leave him alone. He gets dived. Zac, I mean Varus does go down to the tower and the Victor's ult, but yeah,
Victor
it's
does
still the
take down
tower.
Varus, but
Yeah, he can't really do that all alone. They needed to help him over there. Either the bot lane or Chen needs to come and save him. Vayne tries to go in by himself, gets the Chen ult, gets a kill, but goes down to the Ziggs, and they finally manage to shut down Ziggs. Meanwhile, Riven does take down the ball.
just miscommunication, like real miscommunication.
And again, Zac tries to go in all alone by himself and dies for it. They honestly need to, talk about where they're going, where they're engaging, when they're engaging. That seems to be a big gap for them.
Like they have
Because,
such a good composition, but yet they are going one on one.
I mean, Zac's engages haven't been bad. They've been pretty good, to be honest. But just at the wrong place at the wrong time, that's all I
Yeah.
can say. Like, his teammates were nearby, they couldn't really do much. Or he was split entirely from them. That's when and where he engaged. And as a result, the red team is ahead by so much right now.
This is not a very good option for them. Like, why is Vayne and Victor in the same lane? They should be farming separately. They need to farm. This is not a time for them to, group up. Because they are so far behind in terms of gold.
Nah,
Especially Vayne.
the thing is, at this point, they're gonna be forced because the red team is just gonna, stick and push one or maybe two lanes. They're not gonna let the Vayne, just sit there and farm up. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna look for objectives. They took down 2 towers in the last fight, right? And they're just gonna look for the top lane inhibitor tower right now. Unless the blue do defend this, they're just gonna push in and start doing so much damage onto it with the Ziggs poke and the Varus autos. Yep. You do see the poke from the Ziggs and the Varus, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good siege for them. Soon enough, they're gonna be forced to basically either give up the tower or engage a fight. And those are two options the blue team do not want to take right now. And there's a dive onto the Victor. He does go down. Zac tries to ult, but is taken down before he can complete that one. Vay gets one shot by the Riven, who tries to dive the
This
Nexus
is
towers.
just the problem from the laning phase. The top lane lost too hard. The bot lane gave up too many kills. Lack of communication. The only lane that went well for them was the mid lane, and
Yeah,
that kind of spiraled out of control because the other lanes kind of failed.
exactly. The Victor can't really deal with all of them by himself. And I guess that's gonna be the game right now. They did pick the better comp for team fights in the late game, but by the time they got to that stage, they were too far behind. There was no way they could have won those fights with that huge of a goal difference.
Yeah.
And as a result, we do see another 2-0 this time for Eagle Vision, right?
Yeah. So that's GG, guys. Okay, so that's it from us, guys. We're gonna be gone. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.